Good evening, everybody. It's Matt and Dyan, and welcome back to OK Aussie. It is the late night edition,
It is,
10:20 p.m. on a Friday evening, and I wanted to take this time to reflect upon our day, but also, like usual, share, as we do on OK Aussie, the experience as a caregiver, as a guardian, as a person with disability and a patient with multiple rare conditions, which Dyan has, 22q11.2 deletion syndrome, our experience today, which a lot of people in the public don't always get to have. They maybe have quite good experiences in the public health system of Australia. We're in Perth, Western Australia particularly. But today's one of those shit shows where if anything could possibly go wrong, I actually feel that it actually did today, and I think you probably feel the same as well. It takes a lot of energy for me to get Dyan prepped up to be able to come out of our environment, out of home, out of being bedbound mostly, to save of the energy to be able to go to clinic appointments. And today it was wasted energy because, and I'll explain this, because we want to always be very transparent, authentic and open on our channel about the experiences of people in our situation. Dyan is a person on disability under the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme. She has, like I said, multiple rare conditions, and it can be sometimes a bit of a challenge to navigate through the health system. And I'm sure there's many people out there who relate to a lot of the things that we talk about. We hear a lot of that feedback through our comments, and we really do appreciate the engagement, the interaction on the comments. And a big shout out to all our current subscribers. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe now and hit the notification bell. We do cover a lot of topics on the channel. When Dawn's got the energy, she's up there and at them. She's out there showing you Perth. She's showing you around the home, doing her art and activity. But today's not one of those days. Today, in fact, I am so damn surprised that we're not actually hitting the button for an emergency alert of seizures or ambulance.
Well, we have 24/7s, but yeah.
I get that, but I'm saying it's today.
Yes.
The accumulation of what you've been through really puts your body under peak stress, and that's some of the key risks that contribute to a lot of the neurological issues that Dyan deals with, cardiac as well as respiratory concerns. So today, speaking of cardiac, we had scheduled another medical appointment, and here's, I guess, one of those things that I don't like. Yesterday we had a doctor's appointment for you, and that's a 1 hour doctor appointment. Today we had a clinic appointment scheduled in, and it's one of those things where we don't get to dictate the scheduling. We just have to go with what you're given, correct? Ideally, in a best case scenario, we try and spread things out. One a week is normally enough because it takes a lot of energy, like I said, to prepare, to go, to participate, to come back, to recover, to recuperate, and prepare for the next hurdle. That's that whole energy envelope. You need energy just to try and live daily activities of living.
Bathing,
you know what I mean?
And
basics. People forget that. It's not just going out and having fun or going to the pool, going to the shop.
No.
It's sitting up in bed.
Yes.
It's the energy to go to the toilet.
Sit up and
it's
eat my lunch
eat food.
Having to eat a lunch that I can eat lying down.
So normally, and that's probably a good little point and a little tidbit, we do try and spread these sort of things out, but it's out of our control. So we have to go with what we can. Ideally, we do things by telehealth, okay, by telephone or video consult, and that means we don't have to get up, take a person who's got very low autoimmune with neutropenia and put her into a risk situation, going into a clinic or a hospital. Of course, there's a lot of sick people there. Go figure, hey? Wouldn't expect that, but that is a dangerous thing, and we are concerned about that. And a lot of time we do mask up as well, so we're cautious because you don't want to put yourself into high risk because you're the one who bears the brunt of that.
It's not worth it.
But even just the energy of going up and travelling today, it was $12 in car parking, and these are the things also when you're on a pension for disability. You've got to look at your ongoing costs, and if you're going several times to the hospital, to clinic appointments, each time they also accumulate and add up. So finances and managing, that's your speciality. You do so well managing the home budget, don't you? Thank you for that.
Very strict.
You are very strict.
But unfortunately, I still need your assistance on payments because I cannot get numbers wrong when I'm paying someone.
Calculator and dysgraphia.
My planning ahead and allocating funds and doing savings and I'm very
you work to your strengths,
conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like we have a lot of money. Don't worry about that.
No.
But like,
we're very cautious
I'm
and
just
sensible.
always very sensible.
Yeah.
And I am overly sensible because I have money insecurity.
That's okay.
Because I grew up poor.
Well, you can take that same adage with
wealthy.
money insecurity, with energy insecurity. You want to preserve your energy to be able to do life, as we were just talking about. So today, Dyan was scheduled to go into the vascular clinic specifically. And that was at 9 o'clock. And you know what it's like early in the morning, you've got to get up and get prepared and do all those sort of things and take your person to hospital to get car parking and then get them down to the clinic in time. So you start your day quite early to do so. So it was an early start to the day. But there's also there's also an anticipatory process where you've got anticipation in preparation for what's about to come.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to get abused.
Sure, but there's some mental preparation in this as well. So you've got to prepare notes,
the night before,
information, what needs to be gone through, all those sort of things, and
the needs,
mindset for attending.
The discussions you want to have, everything.
So we did turn up. We were there nice and early. But that, I think, also set us off a little bit the wrong way, because when we got there, we have a process set up for Dyan at the hospital where there is a patient waiting area, which is in the centre amidst all the different clinics, and it's a little outdoor area. Think of it inside like an atrium, it's inside a class area. Yeah. And you go in and there's this big, beautiful flower pot, and it's like you get a glimpse of nature. So you're not in close proximity to everybody, you know, jammed in side by side, coughing, sniffling, and like I said, neutropenia. But you get to wait there and decompress, which is really important for an autistic. Traveling in preparation, getting the mindset right. You've already got your over-ear headsets on, so you're not worried about the noise. You have your glasses on to watch out about the light. You've got your AAC, augmented alternative communication device on your iPad, also ready to go.
I don't know if I'm about to be attacked.
No, exactly. So that's always a risk sort of thing. So you're prepared for all of those sort of steps. Yeah. So we went out to the patient waiting area, but we couldn't get through. And what I mean by that is, Dyan's got a juvenile-sized wheelchair. She's very small. That's that failure to thrive because of being so small in stature, because of having her condition 22q. It actually retards growth effectively. So that's a good thing as far as having a small wheelchair and being, you know, compact.
Yes, nice and compact.
But we couldn't even get through because of... So you imagine a person in a normal-sized wheelchair, let alone an oversized wheelchair, forget it.
They wouldn't be able to use
They couldn't get out into that space because it was being blocked by a very large outdoor table.
As a place for, say, an adult sensory thing.
Yeah. Because
I agree, it is a good one.
Yeah.
But the table's in the way.
I just want to point this out. At this hospital, there is no sensory room for adults. Now, I could go to a concert, and most concerts these days have sensory rooms set up. I could go to the airport. They have sensory rooms set up. I can go to the children's hospital, and they have sensory rooms set up. What happens for adult autistics or those who have sensory-related issues, who don't grow out of it? There's no environment. So we use this outdoor area, which is designated and part of the plan of management for Dyan, but we couldn't even access it because we couldn't get through. So that was the first sort of obstacle number one. Then we go to the appointment well in advance. We get taken into the clinic room by the lovely nurse, and she was friendly and supportive, and you know, she was, you know, getting us prepared for waiting for the consultant, you know, the specialist to see Dyan. And the time keeps ticking by. And she's done a short video today, and I captured that in the moment because you were doing a lot of stimming behaviour. So if you look at our shorts on our channel, go back and have a look at that.
I just want to record you if that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, so I just... I don't know. I thought it was just... It's
quite autistic for you to do this.
I thought you were just wanting to record it for
stimming or self-stimulatory behaviour is a self-soothing action in an anxious situation. So you were shaking. You were actually shaking your feet and your legs. And it's a motor action. And that wasn't just for that minute of the short. That was for 15, maybe 20 minutes straight. You'll be burning a lot of calories and energy doing that constant shaking action. You're not having one of my tarts. You just ate my last tart. She stole one of my tarts.
You should see how big the tart
Don't segue off and focus. Anyway.
It's only this big.
I know, and you're only this big. So she was sitting there waiting in preparation with her AAC device, focused to get through, because we're looking at spider veins, which are reticular veins, getting concerned of them becoming varicose veins, and obviously the pain, because it's been a fast onset, and that's a cardiovascular issue because that's suddenly appeared, and that's a known 22q related issue as well, not delivering enough blood flow and doing the right sort of thing. So we're waiting for this ultrasound to work with a specialist, but the time keeps ticking by, and I'm wondering, wow, they're very, very late, and you're the first cab off the rank, aren't you? You're there early. No one else before you meant to be there. Of course, we've got there early. Well, the specialist never showed. Half an hour later into the appointment's over, the specialist never showed. And the poor nurse, very apologetic.
Yeah.
Very gentle, very sincere, and very upset for Don, because she actually respects the amount of energy that goes for a patient in coming, not having to do telehealth, but coming in person, face to face. And she was so apologetic. It's like, no consultant has turned up, and I don't have a spare to be able to show you. I said, well, look, we're going to have to obviously reschedule because we can't wait around for another hour for you to find one magically, who also doesn't have Dyan's notes and have to get themselves up to speed. What an absolute waste of time, waste of an appointment. I said, look, take your time, reschedule, and we'll have to come back another day. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry to drag you out of bed for that no-show and do nothing like that.
It's better not happen again.
But you know what, we've said that before, but you know what? There's been a few things, if I may, hold on. So last year, we, like in the cardiovascular area, Dyan's been sent to wrong clinics before. She had to go to the cardiac heart failure clinic at one stage, and then there was another chest pain clinic. And at both clinics, I said, oh, no, this is the wrong clinic. Okay. It's you guys that sent her there. You're the ones who do the referrals and do the scheduling and the triage. It's like, it's not her. She doesn't just walk into some sort of room and go, I'm here. It's like, oh, who are you? She's told to go to these things. But that's two other occasions.
It's funny how I have those problems, but anyway.
I know, right? And it's like, that's also after waiting hours in, again, jam-packed waiting room. Remember that other chest pain clinic? You were sitting on a wet day because there was no room for the wheelchair to be parked. And again, we share these sort of experiences about disability and inclusion and accessibility. She was sitting, let's say, about this far from the sliding doors that come in to the actual clinic room, and she was having to watch the sliding doors open and close. And I laugh at this right now, but you can imagine a person with autism, ADHD, and OCD, and every time it opens, cold day, she's getting this chill, thermodysregulation, having to sit up, and you're seeing this distraction. There's no other place for her to sit, close, tight environment like cattle class, and it's like, after an hour, it's like, is this appointment going to happen as well? Then we finally got to see the specialist who said, you shouldn't be here. And I was like, fuck's sake, dude.
Oh, he told us off.
I know, it's like, why are you telling her off for being here at an appointment that you guys have actually said? I don't understand the logic.
So look, people not taking responsibility.
So we know that there are failings in the health system. We know it's a health system that's under stress. That nurses have asked for pay rises. We've got ambulance who are ramped up, waiting to get people in. We've got a Medi hotel, which the WA state government's just spent a lot of millions of dollars. It's actually just blown out double its budget already, and it's not even fully operational yet. And it's like another white elephant blown out of budget. What are they doing from an organisational perspective? And then we see all these things occur, and we're struggling with the outpatients, because I know as a patient with 22q, when you were diagnosed over a year and a half ago, she has still not done over half the initial first-time tests across multiple disciplines and clinics, still waiting to actually occur.
Has not been honoured.
How long do you have to wait to get referrals?
Like a geneticist.
Great, and that geneticist has followed up 3 separate times to say what's going on. She needs to be seen.
She doesn't get
so this is part of our struggle. Now today, got even worse. Could you believe that? We rang up the team that's actually meant to coordinate Dyan's care. They're called the Connect team. Complex needs team.
Suck.
They're meant to connect the dots, connect people and communicate. Let me tell them, sweetie, while you're relaxing. I know it's a bit stressful, but that Connect team couldn't connect the phone because I couldn't get through to them for a start. Got their voicemail a couple of times. But I've been sending emails over the last 3 or 4 weeks and not getting any response. I know there's Christmas and I know people have holidays, but sick people don't have holidays.
I never had
Sick
a
people don't
holiday.
stop needing to go to hospital or go to clinics or have patient appointments. So I don't think certain services can afford to suddenly disappear. But it got worse. I finally found a number and got through to the Connect team. And it wasn't the person who I was meant to call. It's like, who are you? No, seriously, who are you? Would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, I'm looking for name of the person. Oh, he's no longer with us. He's been seconded to another organisation or role for the next 3 months. I'm scratching my head. What do you mean? Is that why he's not contacting me back and responding? We met with him in November with your GP to do a meeting,
we weren't
all
told.
planned for communication to connect the dots.
It changed. We were not told.
No one's telling anybody.
Doctor,
no one's
and not us.
connecting
No
and communicating.
Told.
So that's part of your role, is to connect. So it's like the person's still meant to receive their emails, but no one's actually responded or communicated back. And the funny thing is, Dyan's doctor has sent off multiple escalations as they occur. So in our system in Australia, the referrals from the GP who centralise the care go to the CRS, the Central Referral System. They then go off to the relevant hospital in the area of speciality, and appointments are made. And there's normally 3 categories: Cat 1, 2 and 3. Cat 1, 4 to 6 weeks. That's how long it should be to see. Cat 2, 6 weeks to about 3 months. Category 3, 3 months up to a year. Okay, that's the basic rough sort of breakdown, and we know that the system's under a bit of pressure and doesn't work all that well. And you've got Category 1, Category 2 and Category 3 appointments, depending on the level of speciality and the triage.
Yeah.
All of those have expired. All of those have gone past their due dates. And the whole idea of the Connect team is to avoid Dyan needing to go into ED, because ED is not the right pathway. So I couldn't get hold of him. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's go and see the Connect team. We're on site. We're on the hospital. We've already paid for parking. Boom. Why not go and find the Connect team? So we go up to the help desk, the first help desk. Can you tell us where the Connect team are? I don't know. I think they're you know what? I think you should go to the admin building to find out. Okay. I'm pushing the wheelchair and I'm walking. We go to the admin building. Can you tell us where the Connect team are? Oh, I think they might be. And someone else said, no, I think they might. And then they said, I think they might be I don't know. I'll have a look in the directory. I've got a phone number. No worries, you ring them. They wouldn't answer the phone. Oh, you're not getting connected. All right. I'm seeing a pattern here. No one connects the dots with the Connect team. And that's a worry, because the WA Health Department and the WA Health Minister, Amber Jade Sanderson, have actually said in communications to me that they're responsible for communications is with the Connect team. They're the people who are coordinating the care. How can we coordinate care if I can't connect to the Connect team to coordinate care?
My doctor.
Anyway, so we've gone to the admin building. They can't get hold of anybody. They've phoned someone who's phoned somebody else who's phoned somebody else, who said, oh look, I think I know where they might be. I think I know where they might be. Okay, thanks. We'll go with that. But not at the education building. They're going to be over here by the AHC building. It's like, no worry. Where is that exactly? You go out through the revolving doors. They don't revolve at the moment, by the way. They're broken, so you have to go through the side door. Okay, no worries.
So don't say they're revolving.
They're not a revolving door.
They're doors
and take a left. So we actually did that. We went all the way back through the hospital with Dyan in the wheelchair. I'm walking. She's wheeling. I'm pushing her. And we go out through we didn't go through the revolving doors. We went through the side. And we went to a left.
Acute recovery facility.
I've been there.
Okay.
I know that place.
But it's not for me.
And that's not for you.
I'm not acute. I'm not
Well, you are very cute. It's a joke.
So, you know what I mean?
I know. You're not acute need. So it's the wrong section. But they did used to be there, the Connect team. And the lovely lady there on reception said, oh, look, they've moved next door. No worries. So she went next door. Couldn't find them. They've moved again. Got a phone number, she said. So she tried to ring them, and she actually got hold of somebody in another part of Perth, way over there, 40 kilometres away. And he said, oh yeah, I'll let my manager know and she can get back to you. Okay, well here's my details. Did she get back to us today?
Not today.
Not today.
And
my phone's been with me today.
Because we had an early appointment. We
We're there for 2 hours.
Kind of mid-morning.
Correct. So we got back about 11:30. 2 hours at the hospital. 2 hours at the hospital.
So they had plenty
Actually,
of time
sorry, no, my
to
mistake.
return the call.
2.5 hours at the hospital.
Yeah,
because we got there half an hour early. Because you got to get there early to get a car park and get to the clinic. You got to be responsible as patients to be there politely ready for your appointment. Yeah.
At the private hospital.
St. John of God's.
It's too expensive at the public hospital and car parking.
Well, you can't get car parking.
What does
there.
that say?
So that says a lot too. So anyway.
And that.
Whilst I was at the admin building, I asked, could I speak to the clinical services director?
I'm hungry.
I'll get you some food in a moment. And it's okay if Dyan falls asleep because we want to, because this is nighttime story time. In a moment. You gotta wait.
Ow. Tell me guys.
2 seconds. Chocolate.
Yeah.
Sucker every time.
Cheers.
Okay, you eat those.
And get your chocolate or
I'm not pausing.
Or snack.
For them.
It's supper time.
It's tea time. We're spilling the tea. So we're over at the admin building and I asked to speak to the clinical services director. They couldn't find that person. So does anyone work there? He's got a role. I gave him the name. I gave him the role. And they couldn't find the person. And they had to ring someone else who had to ring someone, their boss. He said, oh no, he's still in the business. Because we were told that he had left the organisation in November and gone on to another role. But he's still there.
That was a lie.
So you mean he could have actually responded to your GP and got back to him as requested and emailed and phoned?
Probably.
But he didn't. Anyway, but I did get hold of the new clinical services director. Phone number and email address. He starts on Monday. That's good.
Oh.
Your GP can contact him on Monday, hopefully, if he picks up the phone.
He's working on Monday.
That's the new one. That's starting back.
Oh, that's just coincidental, isn't it?
It is lucky. So anyway,
how many coincidences
does it take when it's not a coincidence?
Well,
anyway, we kept going because you know what? We're already on site. We've gone through this exercise. We've got the Connect team hopefully giving me a call back sometime, one day soon. Hasn't heard. We've got the contact details for the new clinical services director who's back on Monday. Cool, that's a win. I thought, well, you know what? The doctor has already sent through communications to the immunologist, because remember, Dyan's under 20 different specialists, 20 plus actually, it was, I don't know, 21, 22, 20 different specialists for her condition. It's so multifaceted. 180 plus different clinical symptoms and effects it has on her body having 22q. Because remember, when you're missing over 3 million DNA building blocks in your body, it affects every cell. And you've actually got about 30 to 40 genes missing throughout your entire body. No wonder you have so many different sub-conditions. So that's why you're seeing 20 specialists. Well, we took advantage because we're already there. We're paying for parking. Let's go down to immunology. So I went back to the reception and said, which clinic's immunology? Number 6. Let's go to clinic number 6. And the immunologist wasn't there today. That's okay. We left a message for her to give us a call back or call the doctor because the doctor has sent through an escalation. So when a referral is sent from a doctor to the CRS, the Central Referral System, he can also send through an escalation of new symptoms of concern to try and escalate the situation, to add to the triage information so that a patient can be seen earlier with more urgency. That hadn't been received. So anyway, they now know that there's an issue, there's a concern, because I've been there on site and had to speak to them because the Connect team didn't pick up the phone and talk to them, and they hadn't received it from the CRS or from the GP.
They lose paperwork.
Maybe they'll call back. Well, I'm hoping they're going to call back because I had sent through an email, but they haven't received that either. Anyway, communication's not going too well. So we took advantage of the situation after leaving a message for them, the immunologist, to get a call back to deal with a hospital-grade infection that you've got, to then go to neurology. Why not? It's just upstairs. Well, 6 levels. We took the lifts, the blue lifts. We went up to level 6 to neurology. Because I wanted to see if they'd received the referral, because they'd lost the previous 2 referrals. And then Dyan had been dropped off the other referrals, even though the geneticist had also sent a referral.
Yeah.
These referrals just disappear.
It should have been honoured by the geneticist.
But anyway, the geneticist has sent a re-referral and the doctor sent a re-referral all through the CRS, Central Referral System.
No excuse.
So I went up because I thought, you know what, sometimes if you appear face-to-face in front of people, you can ask them very direct questions and hold them to task and actually go, have you received a referral? And
we're taxpayers.
At neurology, they go, yes, a referral has come in from the CRS. Bingo. Has it been triaged yet? No. Has it been assigned to a doctor yet? No. Do you know what date or the appointment might be? No, don't know. But it's category 2. Category 2 is that 6 weeks to 3 months period. When was the referral sent in? August, September, October, November, December, January. I think we're a little bit over that category 2 period.
A
little bit over. That's okay. They're busy. I respect that. You've had it.
With what?
We're managing all the seizures ourselves and the access to oxygen, because that
but you know what?
access to oxygen has to come from neurology as well. SUDEP, very good point. SUDEP is sudden unexplained death from epilepsy. Those people who have seizures can actually have, particularly at night time between the 10 and 4 o'clock in the morning, the worst periods of time when they're least observed, more silent killers of aspiration, cardiac events, choking, whatever might happen when they're maybe not observed. So anyway, went up to neurology, found out all that, and I said, well, look, have you received the escalation for neurology? Because Dyan's got all these additional symptoms since you last looked at the referrals and triages, and particularly with the dystonia, because you know what? Dystonia is actually a very concerning condition. It's actually incredibly rare. Why does Dyan have to have so many rare conditions? Do you know what the precedence or the incident rate of dystonia is? If you look at the US stats, 65 people in a million. If you find 1 million people, only 65 people will have dystonia.
Why me?
Because you've got 22q11.2 deletion syndrome. You've got bilateral calcification of the basal ganglia, and dystonia affects that signaling that comes from the basal ganglia, which is also known with 22q. And it affects all that up. That affects the whole motor. That's why it causes the blepharism, which is that twitching and the closing of the eyes. It affects the oromandibular, which is all that fluctuation on the jaw and the distortion and the poking of the tongue. It affects that bruxism, where you're grinding the teeth, and the dislocation of your TJM, transmandibular joints, TMJ, should I say. All those things are all because of that calcification in the basal ganglia. That's known research. So the problem with dystonia is it's a deteriorating, most likely, condition, and it progresses from, first of all, the eyes, blepharism, commonly then goes to the jaw with oromandibular, then it can go into focal, and you've got focal dystonia in different feet positions, and full body generalized dystonia. You also have had pharyngeal and diaphragmatic dystonia.
Have I?
Yeah, you have, and that's particularly seen during seizures.
Yeah.
And because of that, it causes respiratory issue when it's affecting those parts of the body which actually help with
sometimes
breathing.
It's so scary. I get like this. I can't get my breath.
Absolutely.
In a seizure.
It's a bit sucky.
Scares the shit out of me.
Now, we have certain types of medication that we're using to try and get in front of that, but it's not a good condition. It is a progression condition, and it progresses over 4 years. It can actually be very life-threatening, and that's why we're taking this serious. But we need to get in front of the right specialists to get appropriate medical care and help and treatment and supports with that. So we didn't get anywhere with
it was all a waste
vascular,
of time.
neurology, or immunology today, unfortunately. I haven't bothered with the other ones. It's like we were exhausted by that stage. We'd spent over 2.5 hours at the hospital. We've done 2 laps of the whole building.
I think we would have.
I actually went back to one lady, that one reception, 5 times, the same lady in the end, to ask her for the directions or the contacts or whatever else. Yeah. She started to go, hello again, hello again. You back? What do you need now? I need this area.
You know what the sad thing is?
Yeah.
That I kept thinking the whole way along today.
Yeah.
Was that all these beautiful people that are just doing their job don't know the evil that's going on.
Yeah.
It was quite twilighting for me. It was like
I
felt like I was in 2 worlds at the same time.
We both, and it takes a lot for me to get upset, I must admit. I was actually in tears probably by the time we're about an hour and a half into this whole circus, and it is a circus running around.
I cried.
Physically exhausted, mentally, they're breaking me. Okay, they really are breaking me.
The reception lady cried.
The receptionist was actually tearful and so supportive and so caring.
See what loop we were
and
in
knows It is a
Yeah,
twilight loop. It
yeah.
is just, can we get out of this loop? How do we get off
And
the
it's
merry-go-round?
inhumane, and I think it was hitting her too. It wasn't just that she was seeing us upset. That was probably
Yeah.
a big part, sure. But you could tell from what how she was speaking,
Mm-hmm.
that because she was trying to help us solve all this problem,
It's
she
unsolvable.
knows it's wrong.
Yeah, they
She
do.
sensed it, and these innocent people
They see the frustration
now
and they see the
they're
impact on
going
the
to see
patient.
more of this, guys.
Yeah, I understand that.
Sadly.
Look, during this, there's other additional communications that were going on. There was several emails and a couple other phone calls up to your GP to keep them in the loop because they also have to follow up and chase up. They're trying to do their best, but that puts them taxed under resources because the hospital is not doing their appropriate communications and responses, and the
Yeah.
Connect team aren't doing their part. What a shit show! What a nightmare! And then I have to bring Diane home exhausted from doing this runaround. Not what I really want to do. I'd rather keep her home and safe and
Resting,
resting.
pacing.
Do you know what I mean? It's exhausting on your body, and of course you don't then get to have your appropriate nutrition when you need it. Medications can sometimes be adjusted in timing. You miss out on all of those things. So I'm sure you're shattered. We're going to look forward to the weekend being a bit of a chance to recover and recuperate to prepare for Monday. But the reason why we share this is to again share the experience and the frustration and the emotional drain that occurs both on the carer or a partner or a family member or a parent, as well as what the actual person with a disability or person with chronic and complex conditions has to actually face. There are challenges here, and there are certainly risks that we understand. You're starting to get nice and sleepy, which is really good. Okay, it saves me having to read
I'm
you a story time.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
No.
I love it when you fall asleep. It's natural and it's good. It's a much relaxed
I don't
stage.
need a story tonight.
You don't need a
Like,
story tonight.
oh, just
I look
talk a
for her
little
to.
bit.
I look forward to her sleeping because that's the only time that she's really not in pain. And I think a lot of people might be able to relate to that. It's when you're not connected
Yeah,
and
I
feeling the
like that bit
pain.
too.
And look, we know that we'll wake up and we know that we will start the day, particularly with connective tissue disorders and everything else, where your pain level starts at a 7 or an 8, and that's first thing in the morning. And then we progress throughout the day. Diane's a warrior, she's really strong, and you've shown
I've
such
had pain since I was a
perseverance
child.
and strength just to go through today and cope
After yesterday,
with so much
2 things in a
pushback.
row,
Yeah,
just too much.
correct.
Abuse of power, just left, right, and centre,
Yeah.
and people just being, unempathetic and pushbacks.
Pushbacks or failing at
They're
their
just failing at their
designated
job.
roles, and it's
And
like,
that's just nothing to do. That's nothing to do with me.
no, and I don't want
I'm
to
just
be
trying
caught
to
up in
be
the
the
admin.
patient that I'm supposed to be.
Correct.
And I'm a very good patient, and I'm very respectful.
Yeah.
And I do believe that I only treat someone on how they have set the boundaries. I
Yeah.
don't break that.
No.
But if people change,
You reflect what's
boundaries,
given
it's stupid. But
to you at the end of the day.
if you ever change boundaries, guys, you should tell people.
That'll be important. Let
But-
people know if something's
Yeah.
changed. Yeah.
But basically,
People aren't mind readers.
2 days in a row, it's like you guys are just really beating us up. And it's getting personal now.
Yeah. Well, we've actually had to cancel another appointment that we had today because you're so exhausted. You actually became quite selective mute by the outset of it all.
And you know what?
And that was also leading into autistic meltdown. You had a
haven't
bad
been
meltdown yesterday.
That mute though
No.
for years.
Yeah.
Over 15. It'll be roughly 15 years or more.
Yeah. And that's unusual to have such quietness in the house. It's unsettling. It's not natural for Diane, and it really shows the impact of what she's going through, and it worries me and upsets me. You're going to get some sleep now. We are going to recuperate, which is a good thing, and we're going to prepare ourselves for the next week ahead, as we always do. We do get through these things, but we shouldn't have this load, and the system needs to certainly improve. I hope it helps paint the picture. Look, we all have bad days off and on. We all know that sometimes appointments, things come up. Someone could have had a car accident, or they got a flat tire, or just was sick and couldn't get in, and communications got
It
missed.
seems to be often with this profession.
Seems
They're on
to
holidays.
be
They're on sick
heck
leave.
of a lot often, doesn't it?
They're busy. They've got a stress
But
going on
basic
in their life.
communication, like the Connect team, and I've sent multiple
fine.
emails. It's like I haven't even got an autoresponder to say that you're not in the office or not responding or not available. It's like, That's rude. That's wrong. I expect that if you're the designated person that I have for contact in all these parties, the hospital, the health department, the health minister have all said, this is my
Absolutely.
person, this is who I've got to contact. Well, I'm doing that. And I ain't getting any contact back.
Waste of taxpayer money.
Waste of effort. And I got to start again with someone else. And that frustrates me even further because I'm sick of starting again. Feels like I'm reinventing the wheel, you know what I mean? But we'll get there. So, guys, I really do appreciate your support ongoing. We share these stories to give you an insight into our daily life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We are being transparent about that. We're both tired and run down. Diane's going to get some sleep, and I'm going to get some sleep. Give us a big thumbs up of encouragement. If you've got questions, comments, ideas, and suggestions, leave them below. Let's have some encouragement through this approach, and you might have your own stories to share as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. See the journey as it goes along. You know, a person who's dealing with complex, rare genetic conditions. There's a whole list of different rare conditions that Diane has actually got, and dealing with not just autism, ADHD, OCD, Tourette's, whole range of different seizure types. She's got the hypermobility of Ehlers loss, you name it, the list goes on. It's a struggle. She's very brave. I'm hoping for some good weather, because if some good weather comes, we can get you out into the pool. And some good days where you can do some cool activities and have some fun. No medical. We can switch our brain set, our mindset, and do something totally different and have some fun. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us in today's edition of our update, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.